going to do now is look at attacking wireless. Normally you won't see any access points with WEP, but as a red team hacker you have to understand how to crack WEP in case you run into it, because we still see it today. I was actually in New Mexico several months ago and I was amazed at how many businesses still run WEP. So we want to look at the WEP cracking concept. So what we've done is here we have an Alpha wireless card. So to get a card to work with Backtrack or Kali Linux, either get the Alpha or the Wi-Fi. Them are the two main cards that work very well with the actual tool itself. So as you see here, I'm in Backtrack 5R3. The reason I'm using Backtrack 5R3, they have what I call the Jerix Wi-Fi cracker. That's a cracker I like to use when I do my cracking. If you get Kali Linux today, Kali Linux no longer comes with the Jerix Wi-Fi. You could probably install it, but I haven't checked that out yet. So we're just going to use actually Jerix Wi-Fi cracker in Backtrack R3. As you see here, IWconfig WLAN 2, this is my wireless card. This is my Alpha card, and right now it's in managed mode, but it's not connected. Well, I want to turn that into monitor mode. Now we can manually do it using a technique called airmon-ng, but before no reason to do that. If in red team hacking, we mainly just want to get to see if we can break it. So we go into Backtrack here. And you got different wireless. The AirDump-ng, that's the one, another one you can dump different things, Kismet. So you have a lot of different wireless tools, but we want to do exploitation. So we go into wireless exploitation tools, WLAN, and the Jerix. See right here, the Jerix Wi-Fi cracker. So we're going to bring up the Jerix Wi-Fi cracker, and here it is. This is Jerix. What we like about Jerix is it looks pretty easy, and it is easy. So if I just go here and I go configuration, see my card? This is my card right here. But as I said, it's in managed mode. Well, we want it to be in monitored mode. Well, look here, enable or disable monitor mode. Let's try that. Now what's going to happen once the card actually goes into monitor mode is it's going to refresh and we'll actually see a monitor mode card. And there it is. See how now it says Mon 0? So what we've done is we've taken WLAN 2, we've enabled monitor mode on it, and now we actually have monitor mode set up on the card. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into cracking. Okay? So to do that, we have to scan our networks. So see this button here, scan networks? Scan networks. So now we just wait. We're going to look for a WEP access point. Now remember, we have to have written authorization to do this. So we've actually set up an access point with WEP on it just to make sure we had one. And here's the WEP access point we've done. It's on the D-Link, which is the normal default for D-Link. I'm just looking to see if in this organization, this area, in this business area where we're at here, if we have any more WEP, and we don't. So it's a good thing we brought our own WEP access point, because the good news is nobody around us running WEP. That's for security. That's bad news for our hacking. But this will work. So we select the D-Link right there. I've selected it. And now I go into WEP. Now, we have several functionalities we want to set up. We want to start sniffing and logging. Okay? So now this is sniffing and logging on our actual access. Now, when we look here, this is the key right here, the data. We want to see these data numbers. We want to see them go up and up and up, because we need about 5,000 before we start our cracking process. So sometimes the data just won't go up. We've got 2, 3 now, very slow. We want to see this count very fast. If it doesn't count very fast, you're probably not going to be able to crack the key. So you'll have to try a couple different techniques. Let's perform a test injection of the access point. And there we go. Injection is working, found one AP, and it looks like it's doing pretty good. So we're good there. Now, in WEP, to crack it, we have different attacks. We have no clients and we have with clients. Which one do you use? Well, it's trial or error. So we'll go under no clients because nobody's connected to this. So what we'll do here is, and I want to, so you can see this at the same time. See all these BSSIDs and all that? That's all that fake generation I did. So now what I'm going to do is start a fake access point authentication on the victim. And now we're going to start the attack called Chop Chop. Now, if Chop Chop works, we'll see it start to build an actual exclusive OR file. If it doesn't work, well, we're probably going to have to try again or try something else. So here it goes. It's reading packets. So what we're wanting, it's saying use this packet. So we say yes. Hopefully it will start building. And currently we're not getting good Wi-Fi success here because this should start be scrolling on the screen right now. We'll try it a couple times and then we'll move to the fragmentation attack if we can't get the chop chop attack to work. Remember, as before, exploitation is not 100%. So sometimes this is what happens. It just takes a long time and we don't crack the key. That's reality. Sometimes we crack it, sometimes we don't. Chop chop failed. So we'll try one more time with chop chop. That's why everybody says, oh, it's easy to crack WEP. Yes, it is, but a lot of access points don't generate weak keys like they used to, so it can be a little bit more of a challenge than everybody makes it out to be, as you'll see as we try different types of cracks. Now, again, what we want to do is we want to see this actual file build, and since we're not seeing this file build, more than likely it's going to fail. But we'll continue to try a couple times, and then we'll move to a fragmentation attack. And what you want to look at here, if we go back to our, see how the data? That data should be going as fast as the beacons. Since it's not going as fast as the beacons, we're not getting a lot of play and a lot of success yet with this access point. But it's trial and error. So again, chop chop fails. Okay, so what we'll do then, since chop chop's failed twice, let's go just try another one. We'll try fragmentation. Sometimes fragmentation will work for us. So we'll see if fragmentation gives us any better success. So it's the same way, going to read packets, and it's looking for a data packet. And hopefully it'll get a data packet here. And there's a data packet. So let's see if we can get lucky. Not enough ACKs, not enough ACKs, no answer, repeating. So again, this is the process it takes. It just takes a little while. And sometimes it'll fail, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll work. And again, what do we want? We want the data. So if we go back here to our sniff dump, we continue to get small data counts. So when we get it, you'll know it because that data will go absolutely crazy. Okay, as we said, it takes a little bit of time to actually start getting actual traffic where the packets will start running the data. So if we go back and you look at our display, here's the exclusive OR being built by the actual chop chop attack. So if you look here and see we're up to 90-some% done, look at our data. Our data is counting faster, but it's still not as fast as we would like. So what we do is we just wait until this exclusive OR file gets built. Remember, RC4 is a stream cipher, which is what WEP uses, and it just takes time to build this exclusive OR file to start the chop chop attack. So once we're done here, and we are now, and now we're going to actually 395 seconds, so what, about 5 minutes, and we say it usually takes 5 to 15 minutes to get enough data. So now we go over here and we create the ARP packet to be injected. And we start injecting and see how fast this data is counting. So let's see if we got lucky and our data is scrolling really fast on our sniff dump. And not yet, we're still trying to get, it's fast, but it's not as fast as we'd like. So let's give it a little bit of time. Losing a lot of frames, so it's still not counting as much as we'd like. But we'll keep doing it because eventually when it starts counting, you'll see it because it'll just start scrolling extremely fast. So let's see if these other ones are doing anything. Still not as fast as we'd like to scroll here. So we'll close that one. Close this one, and we'll try it again. So we built the file, but we're not getting the dumps like we should have them. So we'll try to do some more stuff, fragmented packets. Again, all we're doing is trying to get enough data packets. The more data packets we get, the more safety we have. So we're getting up there. Remember, at 5,000, we can start actually attempting to crack. So we've got the exclusive OR file, so it's going through all the possibilities, but the data is going quite slow. Okay, so when we're waiting for the packets to actually, the data packets to get above 5,000, they start scrolling pretty fast, and then we go back and we take a look. They get pretty fast and they get pretty high, and we get a lot of packets. So let's go see how our actual crack is coming along. So when we go back into our display, we see now we got 56,000 packets. So anything over 5,000, we can start to cracking. But remember, 5,000 is the minimum, so it might take more than that. So in the Jarix Wi-Fi cracker, all we do is we click on cracking, and we hit this button here. It says attack NG, so it's aircrack NG. So aircrack NG decrypt WEP password, and you click on it, bang. Key found. And that's it. Once you get 5,000 packets or beyond, this is the process. Okay, so let's redo it and let's try to do a fragmentation attack. Since that was a chop attack, let's try the fragmentation attack. So to do that, we want to go over here to our sniff dump. We want to break it. So it's not running anymore, and we're going to restart our Wi-Fi cracker after we close all our terminal windows down. What we're going to do is we're going to try the actual fragmentation attack next. And it might fail, but in hacking, we always try different methods to do different things. So we go to our little backtrack diagram, backtrack, exploitation tools, wireless exploitation tools. Always remember, though, you have to have authorization to do this, otherwise you're really being a malicious hacker. Or some people try to say it's a gray hat hacker, but it's not a gray hat hacker. If you don't have authorization, you shouldn't be cracking it. All right, so our configuration, our MON 0. So we rescan our networks. We'll expand our window here. Once we scan, we wait until it comes up and gives us our display of our different networks that are found in the scanning. As you see here, there's a log down here that gives us a bunch of information that's taking place. What we're looking for is WEP networks. So let's see if anybody added along the way of WEP. No, we're still the only WEP networks in there. So we click on our D-Link access point. We click on WEP. Start sniffing and logging. There we go again. Now remember, the data is at 0. We got to get that data to count up. So let's go into associate fake authentication. So you see, this is the fake authentication we just generated, which is our 1 data, 2 data packets now. And then we do fragmentation attack. And now it's going to read the packets and try to build. And once we do it, we get it and we send fragment things. Okay, now you can build the packet with Packet Forge. So now we create the ARP packet and inject the packet. And we say yes. And hopefully, when we go over to our data, it's counting up now. And there it goes. See how fast it's counting? This is when you know you've got it, because once it starts counting fast like that, you've successfully injected the packet. Now we wait till it gets about 5,000 and we start running the aircrack tool. So it's up around 3,000 right now. As you see here, 4,000. So as soon as we go over 5,000, we're over 5,000 now, We just click here, we go cracking, error crack ng, decrypt web password. There it goes, key found. And that now is a fragmentation attack. So we successfully have done a chop attack and a fragmentation attack against a 128-bit web. You're probably saying, well, how do we know the key's correct? Well, it says decrypted correctly 100%. There's your first indication. And your second indication, there's the key. We had to write it down when we created our access point. And as you see, it's just 11 through 00 and then 112233. And it in fact is a cracked key. And this network has been compromised. And in Red Team Hacking, we look for WEP, we find WEP, we start running the cracking protocol. If you run into WPA, you start trying to do dictionary attacks and those types of things. But remember, if it's WPA2 using AES, the Advanced Encryption Standard, pretty difficult. Nobody's really cracked that yet, at least no public knowledge of that exists. And this concludes Attacking Wireless.